Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all the praises and the glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Brakatha Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham Rekah Kodash. We give double honors to our beloved apostles of Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to our sincere brothers pushing this truth throughout the four corners of the earth, risking their lives week in and week out to feed the elect of Israel. Shalom to the 144,000. Shalom to the hopeful elect, the 1/3. I hope and pray that this is edifying to the hearer. Now I'm going to entitle this Prophecy. There will be no peace in the Middle East. Okay? Let me bring up the scripture to start, Lord willing. John 7, verse 6 to 8. Then Yahushua HaMashiach said unto them, My time is not yet come, but your time is always ready. The world cannot hate you, but me it hateth, because I testify of it, that the works thereof are evil. According to prophecy, there will be no peace in the Middle East. So everything has to be fulfilled according to what is written. All right? As you see, DJ Trump signing the agreement of peace, you could sign away, but there will be no peace until Yahweh Bahasham Yahushai says, it is done, it is finished. Right? See, people are celebrating. They're celebrating. First Thessalonians 5 verse 3. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as a travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. As you can see, look at people celebrating. Let's play a little bit of this.
Begin with breaking news out of the Middle East, where after more than 2 years of war, Israel and Hamas have agreed to the first phase of a peace plan that should see the release of all remaining hostages in Gaza in exchange for Palestinian prisoners and the withdrawal of Israeli forces to, quote, agreed upon lines. We've got team coverage for you on this morning. CBS News correspondent Natalie Brand is tracking reaction from the White House. You see her on the left. But let's begin with CBS News reporter Haley Ott in Tel Aviv. Haley, good morning. This is major news. An agreement is in place. What's the reaction there and what happens now?
Good morning. So, as you said, a deal to halt the fighting in Gaza and exchange all the remaining hostages for over 1,000 Palestinian prisoners has been agreed. There are 48 remaining hostages, around 20 of whom are believed to still be alive. Now, this is the first phase of that 20-point peace plan that the White House put out alongside Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu about 10 days ago. And there are still...
Before I go further, fair use, fair use. This is just for educational purposes only. Fair use, right? So no matter what deals you put out, first phase or second phase or third phase, it doesn't matter. Okay? There will not be peace.
Some more difficult elements of that proposal to be hammered out, like how Hamas will disarm, whether it will agree to step back from Palestinian politics, and who will govern Gaza. But all that will come later. Netanyahu is meeting with his cabinet and the government later today. After that government meeting, a 24-hour clock will begin for Israel to retreat to an agreed line still within Gaza. Then a 72-hour period will begin for Hamas, during which it will be required to release all the hostages.
And Haley, you've been reporting from Hostage Square throughout the week where the mood has been tempered. What's the...
Listen, right? 2 Corinthians 2 verse 11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us. For we are not ignorant of his devices. As you said again. For when, in 1 Thessalonians 5 and 3, for when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction. If it were possible, I'm paraphrasing, if it were possible, they would deceive the very elect. But the very elect are not deceived. Okay? 1 Thessalonians 5 and 3. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them as a travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. Ecclesiastes 3 verse 8. A time to love and a time to hate, and a time of war. A time of war. You see, the Lord does everything in decency and in order. There has to be war in order to be peace. Okay? So you can't write the script that there will be peace in the Middle East. Ecclesiastes 3 and 8 again. A time to love and a time to hate. A time of war. And a time of peace. Luke 24 verse 44. And he said unto them, These are the words which I spake unto you while I was yet with you, that all things must be fulfilled. Everything has to be fulfilled in order to get into the kingdom of heaven, which dwelleth righteousness. Everything has to be fulfilled in order for that to happen. So you have to have war in terms of peace. From war first, and then there will be peace. Luke 24 verse 44. And he said unto them, These are the words which I spake unto you while I was yet with you, that all things must, it says must, be fulfilled, which were written in the law of Moses and in the prophets and in the Psalms concerning me.
Difference today?
The mood is completely different today. Hopefully you'll be able to see behind me that the square is completely full. This is a symbolic place where people have gathered throughout the war to be with one another when hostages have been freed in other partial deals, to support one another and the hostage families. And now people are gathering here because, as you'd expect, this is an enormous day. For pretty much the last 2 years, the families of the hostages and many Israelis have been turning out on the street, protesting, demanding that their government agree to some sort of deal to bring all the hostages home and end the war in Gaza. And now it seems like that could be happening. There's still a ways to go in terms of the next phase of the White House proposal, but people are hopeful that the horrible chapter that's taken place over the last 2 years may be coming to a close. And we are here in Tel Aviv, but the feeling in Gaza today, our colleagues, their report is similar. It's one of relief and hope that this war might end. Over 67,000 people have been killed there in this war, according to local health officials, and the humanitarian situation has been catastrophic.
Yeah, and we saw one...
You see people celebrating there? Listen, they're talking about it's a great day for them. Listen to this. Zephaniah 1 verse 14. The great day of the Lord is near. It is near and hasteneth greatly. Even the voice of the day of the Lord, the mighty man shall cry bitterly. Okay? So that day is coming very soon. We're in that time now. Because they are moving fast. Because Esau, Edom knows that he has a short time. Okay? So he's trying to move things quickly. But it's the Lord that's putting his spirit in him to move quickly. So, Lord willing, we keep faithful and true to the end. Because according to prophecy, there will be no peace in the Middle East. All praise be to Yahweh Basham Yoshai Basham Rekakodash. Shalom.